Hello and welcome to another update video about Cardano. In this video we're going to take a look at what the Cardano price has been doing and what could happen next. Of course, that's as always speculation, but we're using indicators and key resistance and support levels to come to some conclusions. Cardano has started to move finally. I'm sure you guys are all happy. I am, at least. And this was a reaction to Bitcoin going above a certain level that I talked about this morning in the video. I did say when we were getting above this level, then Cardano would start to move, in my opinion, and it did. I also said this morning that Cardano is coiling up for a breakout, and it did clearly. It was quite a big one compared to where we were before. Just in a very short period, we made these nearly 5%. So we're going to take a look at that in detail. Before we start, guys, let's have a look here. Are you actually going to the Cardano Summit? Can you let me know in the description and if you in the comments, and if you're going, where are you going? I'm currently thinking about if I actually go to London or if I just attend virtually, because I live not far away from London, so I might actually go there. Let me know if you go anywhere as well. Would be very interesting, actually. There are more details now here on the website, and I think, you know, because the pure fact that the Cardano Summit is now coming up, you know, that's the next big thing after the hard fork. People start to realize that now, and that's why I think the Cardano price could, purely because of that, could actually be rising in the next couple of weeks, again in anticipation of what's coming. Alternatively, I think if the price isn't going to increase in the next couple of weeks, I think we might see a boost after that. And the reason is that we either have a sell, you know, buy the rumors, sell the news event here, or not. And if we don't have one, I think it will go up afterwards, because I think so many exciting things will be announced during that meetup, during that summit. There were tweets earlier where you know, it was communicated that there will be some really interesting and potentially unexpected updates being announced. And Charles Hoskinson always said that this is big. There will be some really big things being announced, and I'm sure they would save these huge announcements for such a summit. So that will be done, guys, and I'm sure that will boost the price. But it could be, as we headed with the hard fork, that so much is going up in anticipation of that. So personally, you know, if you see that and you want to take some profits and you see the price going up in the next 2 weeks, then, and if you want to take some profits, potentially the day before that could be an opportunity. But obviously, I don't know if it will go up in the next couple of weeks. But I'm just saying that if it doesn't go up, then I think we'll see a boost afterwards, just because there will be so many exciting things announced during this summit. That's my view. That's my own view. I'm sure it will be, because they will save a lot of interesting projects, partnerships, and news for such an event. So again, let me know in the comments if you are going to attend the Cardano Summit. Let's start with the Bitcoin price. Bitcoin has done something very exciting. And if you remember, back here, it was pretty much around the 19th or 20th of May. In that, May, where am I? Sorry, need to zoom in. We're actually here. We're actually here on the daily. That's Bitcoin. I will now go to the hourly chart. And in my video, I think that was around just after that huge drop here that we did, where I said it reminds me of the Wyckoff pattern, even though Wyckoff is a sort of a longer term pattern. I mean, it has now gone for over a week, but still, normally a Wyckoff pattern normally is for a longer time frame. But still, I showed you that one. If you know, maybe you remember that. If you look at how that is looking compared to what we have on the screen, I'll just put it right. Compared to what we have on the screen, this looks so similar. And this is a Wyckoff accumulation pattern. And I just try to make it a bit clearer, but it just, the similarity to me is just striking. So let me know if you think that's striking as well. I think it is, and you can clearly see where we are now. We're just about here at the range breakout. So we've come from here. A Wyckoff accumulation pattern only takes place after a strong trend, and we had that strong trend here, the downtrend, on that day where we had the flash crash. And since then, we've gone through all these stages here. We've had a secondary test here, and we had that spring that I talked about as well here. I actually thought back then it was here, but that was not the spring. The spring took place here. And now we've gone through these stages here. We've had our last point support. We're now in that backup phase, I think, or we have seen that already. And now we might be up for that range breakout. Yeah, and you can clearly see that, because this is when you go into that range, and that was when we were at 48,000. You can clearly see that because we had something like a supply and demand zone here, a lot of buying and selling going on. And since then, we've been trading in this channel that I've been talking about for a while now. But now we seem to have broken out. And if we go above 48, that is where the range breakout will happen. And very excited about that because we are now exactly there. And we seem to be testing that at the moment, right at this moment. So do we see a successful retest? Nobody in the world will be able to tell you that. But what I can tell you, if we see a successful retest, the likelihood is very high that we go much higher, That's my view, because if you see that successful retest, there's just a confirmation that that level here is holding. We need to see that. Nobody in the world can tell you that. What we can see here on the lower term time frames, however, is that we start to make lower lows and lower highs. That indicates that we could potentially go down again, but let's just hope for the best at this moment. And if we go higher than 48, I can tell you that we get to very nice levels. I think the next key level that we are going to face, and the next key one, there might be other ones here on the way, like the 50k again, but the next zone that is really will be a difficult one to get through, and that's potentially, you know, also a profit-taking area. If you bought down here somewhere and you wanna wait, where is that? And after that, I will go to Cardano. After that, I don't know. After that, I'll go to Cardano. That is this zone here between 50,500 and 51,500 or 51,200 roughly. That is clearly here. That is this supply and demand zone, and that is so critical. And if you want to learn about supply and demand, you can find that on my second channel. You can find the link in the description where I teach about technical analysis. Whenever you have a strong downtrend and you have a short consolidation, that is normal. You always have, when you have a very strong downtrend or a very strong uptrend as well, you have the first consolidation. That is a supply and demand zone. So when then the price moves again into that direction, that's, I mean, it's not guaranteed, but it's pretty much guaranteed that there will be strong resistance here. So these are good opportunities to trade. But let's go to Cardano. Cardano has started to move here today after we pretty much, when we broke out of the apex of this triangle, which I showed you this morning in my video about a breakout is imminent. And there were always a few clever people saying that, you know, you should never trust a YouTuber when he says there will be a breakout, but there was a breakout. And of course there was, because as always, when you see a pattern like that and you move into the apex, now what nobody can tell you if it's going up or down, but you can expect a huge move after that. And we had that triangle, and I think we pretty clearly that we had that consolidation coming, because again, when you set a target for such a triangle, you take the opening, the distance of that, and you add it to the apex. So that is pretty much where the target was, and we bounced up very close from that. So that was the 255 area. Now we've gone a little bit higher, but then we've bounced off that 255, 256 range. And I've always said that 255 is a critical resistance and support level, because it was so many times before. Again, I had a few people in the comments previously who said 255 is meaningless, but no, it isn't. You can clearly see that it's not a meaningless level. So we bounced off that. And can we expect now the price to go higher? Well, what we need to be very aware of here with Cardano is that if the price now cannot maintain that uptrend and cannot go back to 280, I think what will happen is that we form a head and shoulders. I said that this morning. We've got the first shoulder here, the head, and the second shoulder might be forming there. If that happens, then the likelihood might be, there is a likelihood that we break below the neckline here at 238, which would then send us quite a bit down, right? And then we could actually go down to even potentially go down below 220. But let's hope we will actually go up further. It all depends on Bitcoin as well. Now it looks like that the Cardano holders or the Cardano buyers really waited for Bitcoin to break above that key level here at 47,200, because that was the range. I did say before, as long as we are trading in that range, I'm not bullish on Bitcoin. Now I'm starting to get bullish, but I want to see that positive retest of the 48k. And it seems like, again, the powers in the markets, they knew that as well, because as long as we were trading in this range, it wasn't clear if Bitcoin is going up or down. But now that it has become very much likely that Bitcoin is continuing to go up, at least if we retest that successfully, that is when Cardano started to move. And now we see that retest, and now we see Cardano struggling a little bit as well. But yeah, this is a key resistance and support area. So again, I just hope we don't form that second shoulder. That would be bearish, clearly. Looking here on the daily, don't forget we had the golden cross on the Bitcoin chart as well, something we've seen a long time ago for Cardano, which indicates, strong moves to the upside. At the moment, still, we can see that Cardano is, well, in an uptrend. Here we are clearly above the 200-day moving average, clearly above the 500, but we are in a shorter term downtrend. Yeah, longer term uptrend, shorter term downtrend, and we now need to break above that level. And I think the reason if we don't break above that, I say, if we could then form that head and shoulders, that is so bearish. And that is not only bearish because of that head and shoulders pattern, it's bearish because we struggle to make a new higher high, and because we then get into something like a descending triangle again, where again the likelihood might be that we break more to the downside. Because if you have on a daily a descending triangle, it's certainly a breakout pattern, where again a breakout trader would always wait for the breakout before making a decision on which way it goes and if to enter a trade. Personally, I would never trade against the long-term trend, and the long-term trend is clearly still going up, so I would never short Cardano here. These moves to the downside, as you can see here, in an uptrend as we've made huge pump to the upside, and the consolidation is very weak. But still, it indicates if we make lower lows, lower highs here now, and have that horizontal support line, then it is a lot of selling pressure, and the buyers can't really push the price higher, which then indicates more that we can see a move to the downside. So for me, it is very critical now to see on the hourly, and that is what determines, are we going to go up in the next few days and weeks as well, or are we going to see a drop which might then take another few days or weeks to to sort of recover. At the moment, we need to see if we break above that key level of 255. That's key for me at the moment. We need to get then above 280, and then you have that pattern invalidated. And until we aren't above 280, I think there is a big risk that we form a head and shoulders. And if you check on my second channel, I think today I published that video on head and shoulders, you will understand that is a very bearish pattern. Together with that descending triangle, it would indicate that when we move further down towards that level once more, that there will be a breakdown, potentially down to $2. But if we can get back above 280, I did say that before, then we have certainly the potential to make new all-time highs in the very near future. And guys, honestly, on a long-term perspective anyway, I'm so bullish on Cardano, but it's always this short-term range markets, short-term noise that we talk about on this channel because people want to hear it, people are interested in it. But as you know, I'm a long-term holder as well, and I'm invested in the long run. So these price moves don't really bother me, but a lot of people are interested, want to understand how the price moves, why the price moves. That's why we talk about it. So hopefully that video was useful. If it was, please let me know and comment if you're going to the Cardano Summit. And I hope you liked it. Again, if you did, please smash the like button and subscribe and check out my second channel. Thanks a lot and see you in the next video. Bye bye.